Hi guys, as we know, NHS staff are taking industrial action at the moment for better pay and conditions. They're saying that they're at breaking point. Nurses and carers during the pandemic receive claps, but of course claps don't pay the bills. The NHS since Brexit and COVID has seen a mass exodus and has been struggling to recruit people following the years of underfunding and low pay. But while many on the right are claiming that NHS staff are letting people die, have a look at this clip.
Among those striking were paramedic Abigail Rowley and emergency care assistant Annie Hudson.
We're not going to patients, we're stuck in back of ambulances for hours on end, and it's just, we need to sort them out.
The patients are suffering, and it's not just today because we're on strike that patients are going without care. It's happening anyway because we're queuing at hospitals, there's not enough staff.
Moments later, Abigail had to leave the picket line to respond to a life-threatening emergency.
There you have it. She left the picket line to respond to an emergency. Now you'll hear on the right how, well, they're lazy, they just want to bring down the Tory government. This is about some sort of political game they want to play. They don't care about patients. They're happy to see patients die. Here you have somebody who's on strike for better paying conditions and decides, okay, I have to leave the picket line to save people's lives. And unfortunately, you have this. This was posted by Kelvin Mackenzie, who I wrote on Twitter is the former editor of The Scum, or also known as The Sun newspaper. He wrote, and I quote, "Vile shitbags who drive ambulances for a living, they had no choice but to leave thousands of patients with strokes, heart attacks and broken bones make their own way to hospital during tomorrow's strike. See how they feel if it's their mum, upping their pay with your pain." I don't know how to respond to this, really. The former editor of the Sun newspaper that has been, over the last number of decades, pouring poison into the ears of people to convince them that everyone who's looking out for them is their enemy. Doctors are the enemy. Teachers are the enemy. It used to be in the 1990s how single mothers were the enemy. Those people needed to be brought down a notch or two. Then it was migrants. Now it's ambulance staff. People who are on strike for better paying conditions. As you saw there, they said the NHS is at breaking point. They have no other choice but to go on strike. Because the government do not care. And you have idiots like Kelvin Mackenzie, who has been for years in his wretched rag of a newspaper, convincing people that nurses are the problem. Never consider the owners of these newspapers as a problem. The ones who have, offshore bank accounts, people who have squirreled away money as part of their non-dom status. Don't consider these people as the enemy. These are your friends. These are the people looking out for you, not the doctors and nurses who are asking for a bit more money in order to avoid going to a frigging food bank or a warm bank. This poisoning of minds continues, even though he's a frigging ex-editor. Hasn't he done enough damage? Hasn't his newspaper done enough damage? No. It's about convincing people once again to punch down. Doctors and nurses, ambulance staff, carers, they're struggling at the moment. And this idiot wants you to be angry with them. You notice he's not providing any alternative. If they shouldn't go on strike, what should they do, Kelvin Mackenzie? Should they just take it? Should they just allow the system to collapse? Kelvin Mackenzie is not a spring chicken. He may need to rely on the ambulance service at some stage in the future. And I hope they remember this tweet when they're trying to resuscitate him if necessary. I'm shaking because this makes me really angry. You have people who are putting their lives on the line. They're doing a job that most of us would not be capable of doing or would never want to do. the stress involved, the low pay, the continuous load of work that's put on their shoulders every day because more and more people are leaving. And they're treated like crap by scumbags like this. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.